welcome to episode 27 of The Worst Talk Show.
27 episodes, and you're still watching.
Unbelievable. I'm DJ Angie C. That is handsome boyfriend Dave. And this is, of course, our hobby, The Worst Talk Show, especially now that somebody doesn't have a radio show anymore. We've got to be creative somehow.
Well, honey, if we're being fair, I don't have a radio show either.
You do now, though. Isn't this kind of your radio show? I mean, we do like to do this show sort of like it's a morning show on radio. So I am just going to open this up so we can see the comments. I don't know if that's going to work. We're just trying to see. Oh, Holly Cantor is still here.
Oh, what are you doing with your life, Holly?
We're so happy you're still here.
We are.
So we've got a great show for you tonight. I actually straightened my hair, which is very exciting because we recorded a promo for you guys earlier today. And wow, did I look terrible. Dave always looks handsome and it kind of drives me crazy.
She didn't look terrible.
But I told him tonight, sorry, buddy, you can't always be the best looking out of this duo.
So I wore my wrinkliest
tonight it's
shirt.
Me.
Thank you.
Sam Avola is here. Hello, Sam Avola. Michael Maloney.
That's no baloney.
We have an awesome guest tonight. Coming up at 8 o'clock, we are going to hear from the legend. You may know him on social media as Senator John. The rest of the world knows him as TJ Connelly. He is the DJ at Fenway Park for the Red Sox games. He is also the DJ at Gillette for the Patriots games. He plays a lot of the music. I think he might be exclusively at this point for the Bruins at the Garden. And he has his own radio station that he started during the pandemic called Uncertain.fm.
Yes, it's Uncertain Times is his show.
Yes, and it's on Uncertain.fm, and that's some of his merch. So we're very excited to have him on. He's got the most amazing stories, and I'm sure we're going to go over time. But if you have anything you want to ask him, keep it ready. And especially, walk-up songs. We like to talk a lot about Red Sox walk-up songs.
He knows a lot. To say that he knows a lot of obscure music is like an understatement.
Yeah. You think we know stuff? Forget it.
Nuh-uh.
Like not even in his little pinky is our knowledge. He's just, he's the real deal. So we're excited. Jim Pericotti is here. Rhymes with Manicotti. Nikki T punching in. Riddles. Casey Riddles is here. And Casey Riddles,
y'all.
who was our guest 2 weeks ago.
Was it 2 weeks ago?
It was. And he made us our very first piece of merchandise. He mailed it. It came in the mail today.
All right. You going to show it?
Yes. Go ahead. Do you want to say anything?
No, I don't know where it is.
It's right behind you.
Okay. I'm scared.
So it is a mug. I don't know if you can see this, but it's from our very first episode, which was where we had the bras on our heads because it was the Weird Science episode.
A la Weird Science.
So yeah, it's awesome and hilarious.
Like a couple of Gary and Wyatts.
So
never to be used.
Riddles.
Oh no, don't use it.
No, never.
Oh, it's not to be used.
No, it's only to be looked at from far away. So there you go. Dee.
Casey Riddles continues to be amazing.
And Casey also sent along some things, including this, which is a mini lunchbox, and it is an exact replica of the lunchbox
hold on.
that I gave Dave for Christmas from a very good pal that gave it to me. So
that's circa 1977, 78 right there, people.
Yeah, so we dorked out a little, and thank you, Casey. Yes, Casey was the first to ever guess. That is correct. So lots of fun stuff going on.
Right.
And we have so much to get to, especially so we can hit right at 8 o'clock and get TJ on. So if any of you guys were listening to his show today, it was 4 years in the making. He spent 4 years devising the greatest playlist for the inauguration and skedaddle of Orange Cheeto. So we'll definitely talk to him about that as well.
I felt kind of bad for him. Like,
no, you didn't. No. Listen, we don't like getting political on this show. We're a respite from
Sorry.
the
I
politics and
lost
the
it.
nightmare. And
I lost it for a second there.
that was why we were here. But cheers, everybody.
Oh man, drink them if you got them, baby.
I think everybody's toasting tonight. So much for dry January for all of you. I think today is an exception. So we're going to get right to the things that we watched, and then we're going to move on over to the things that we listened to, especially when we talk to TJ. And we'll wrap up the show with things that we ate, cooked, and baked. Kendall has been baking up a storm in this house, and it's starting to affect my weight loss. Very bad influence.
She is a bad influence.
But also pretty proud that she's becoming an excellent baker. So it's half and half. So here's the stuff that we recommend that you watch. One Night in Miami.
Yes, very good.
This will most assuredly be on the top of all movie awards this season.
Yeah.
Like if it doesn't get Oscars and it doesn't get Golden Globes and Critic Choice Awards.
Guys, Regina King is a stud.
Yeah. So Regina King directed this, is based on a play. And I believe the person who wrote the play wrote the screenplay for this as well. So it's very much on point.
It's well done.
It is based on a night in Miami after Muhammad Ali, who's still known as Cassius Clay,
At this time,
beat Sonny Liston for the first
It's the
time.
world
Did he fight
championship.
him more than once? I can't remember.
this was.
But this is when he first
time.
becomes the champ.
The world champ.
And he announces the next day that he's joining the Nation of Islam.
Right.
And he'll be known as Cassius X, and then of course later
But you
on
jump ahead.
Muhammad Ali.
The bottom line is that it's Malcolm X,
Yep.
Jim Brown,
Yep.
Sam Cooke,
Uh-huh.
and Cassius Clay, soon to be Muhammad Ali.
Hanging out in a hotel room together.
They're friends and they're hanging out together.
And this really happened. At least they were together that night. There are photos. Malcolm X was taking photos all over the place.
It is well acted.
It is so well acted and so well written. And just when you think it's going to be sort of tipping into one side, you'll get the other side. And you'll know what I mean when you watch it.
It's
very
not,
balanced.
It's not overly preachy.
And they're not throwing stuff at you in a way that makes you like uncomfortable or anything.
I kind of have a crush on Regina King.
Well, I think we all have a crush on Regina King.
I mean,
but the guy who plays Jim Brown, I have a crush on now.
Oh man.
Like just exceptionally good looking, and what a great actor.
Keep your eye on Beau Bridges.
Oh my God, yeah.
Wow.
Beau Bridges, our favorite actor to act like a jerk or a white supremacist.
Well, no, it's no. You can't say that. You have to be like, he's really great in it. He loves him some Jim Brown.
Beau Bridges plays a jerk like nobody's business. So there you go.
All right, that's it. Don't even bother watching it now.
No, watch it. Watch it. Definitely
just skip
watch
the whole
it.
part with
and
Beau
then you
Bridges.
can go, oh, Andy and Dave were so right. We should watch that show all the time.
Your neck will be like,
So we love that. And then Kendall came downstairs one night over the weekend and demanded that we watch a movie together, but it had to be a movie we all agreed on. So 3 hours later, we agreed on a movie.
What did we watch?
We watched the new Charlie's Angels.
Okay. I had refused to watch it on multiple occasions. It wasn't that bad. It was pretty good.
Kristen Stewart, who I think we all kind of had a crush on after that a little bit. She's great. She's a good actress. It was directed by what's her face, who also stars in it as the new Bosley. And why can't I think of her name right off the bat? Yes. She was in Zack and Miri Make a Porno, and she's in all the
Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah, all the Hunger Game movies.
Patrick Stewart, Jean-Luc Picard is in it as a Bosley.
Yes. And they have
there's more than one Bosley.
They have little nods to all the other movies. And I'm not going to spoil, but there's an awesome cameo. If you guys are of a certain age, you may remember the OG Charlie's Angels. And yes, there's something in there. So this is something for everybody.
It might be like a really hot lady from the 70s and stuff.
I'm just saying, like, if you're looking for something to watch with your 16-year-old daughter who doesn't want to watch anything, this is the movie for you.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It definitely wasn't terrible.
No, it was fun, guys.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It was definitely fun. We are still fully ensconced in. Now, I think we're only at season 2 in Orphan Black.
Yeah.
Which I know, late to the party, everybody's
Okay.
already seen Orphan Black, but we haven't.
Tatiana, the main character, the actress, where did she come from?
Canada, I assume.
Okay, look,
I don't know.
She plays like 27 different characters in this show. Many times opposite herself. I don't know, and it's like seamless.
I think most people know the premise of Orphan Black, but we're just on season 2. And so we're meeting more clones all the time. And the episode we watched last night was the first boy clone that showed up, transgender.
Transgender
and
clone.
Out of the corner of my eye, I could see Dave just kind of like, I don't know how to feel about this. Okay, it's fine. But like, it was like he went through all these emotions in the span of like 5 seconds, and it was hilarious.
The facial hair gets me.
Well, you know, she's
so used
she's
to
a
looking
beautiful
at her and
woman,
being
and
like,
all of a sudden she's got a little.
I'm so used to
scruff.
looking at her and being like, oh, she's so.
And she played a transgender clone who
Tony, right?
was living
Was
as
it
Tony. And Tony had a business in the front, party in the back, serious mullet and some facial hair here, and was packing heat, by the way. Packing heat.
Well,
so we're very.
Is that code for something?
Really?
Yeah.
Did you need
there was
to
shots
dance
going
like
on.
that?
He and him.
Yeah.
Shot up testosterone.
Things were happening. So we're still
Elizabeth
very
Banks,
excited about.
Yeah,
we're still very
great.
excited about Orphan Black. We've also kept with the Watch, which is a show that
kept with the watch.
is it from BBC America, I think?
I believe it is.
We're watching it through AMC Plus right now, and it's good. There was a point where it was very funny, and there was they were in a place where there was a curse that if you fought, there was a no fighting curse, and if you fought, you immediately broke into dance, and you had to dance to Wham. All of a sudden it was like jitterbug.
So they were like trying to fight each other, and they ended up dancing together.
Put the boom boom into my heart, and you're like crying laughing. It's so ridiculous.
It was good.
So if you have the means, I would definitely check out The Watch as well. So we also, after Charlie's Angels, I think Dave really wanted something like manly testosterone. And I was like, okay, there's a new movie on Netflix and it's got the guy who plays Falcon from the Avengers. Let's try that. So it's a brand new Netflix original. It's called Outside the Wire. And it's based not in the too distant future, and the soldier is like a cyborg dude, and we're like, okay, we'll give this a shot. And the 2 main characters, one is the guy that plays Falcon, and the other one is the main character from the TV show Snow on Fox, which was all about the crack, or Snowfall, which was all about the crack cocaine epidemic in the 80s in LA. I think he's a great actor.
It wasn't a great movie.
It was a terrible movie. I had such high hopes. It just went, it was like, tick, tick.
And you're like, oh, sciencey stuff. Oh, yeah, sci-fi, military.
Let me not show my cafeteria lady arm. Big thumbs down. Skip it.
Yeah, we didn't dig it so much. Nope.
Skip the whole Outside the Wire. We also finally got around to watching, Casey Says Blah, not the best movie. Arthur Hudson, happy belated birthday, Arthur. I couldn't get into it.
Into it either.
And so we watched WandaVision. I got to tell you, while I appreciate everything about it, I'm not going to watch it until it's all ready and we can just binge it over a weekend, because it's a little much to have to sit through that for a full episode if you lived through 50s and 60s reruns on Channel 56.
Yeah, I was never
up.
a big fan of I Love Lucy.
Or Bewitched. I mean, I love Bewitched. But
the first episode is a la I Love Lucy, in the style of. The second episode is in the style of Bewitched. And so it's like 50s, 60s. And the next episode, I think, is the Brady Bunch, the 70s.
And while I appreciate all of that, I'm so busy looking for the little Easter eggs, the Tony Stark or, Stark Industries or The fact that her neighbor is based on a different character who's a witch as
Catherine
well.
Hahn. Oh.
Catherine Hahn is the only good thing about this show right now.
Well, yeah.
Really, I mean, she just elevates and eats up every scene she's in. So I
love Paul Bettany.
I love them all, but I'm not giving up on the show. I just can't do the once a week episodic
Even Miss Olsen, Wanda, I even like her.
We're gonna wait and binge it all. I think that might be the way to go. Arthur says he almost gave up on it as well. The toaster? Yeah.
Was the toaster from Stark Industries?
The toaster was from Stark Industries. Yes. Yeah, so there are lots of little things like that. When they bring out the magic cabinet that she's gonna hide in, it's got Vision's logo on the front with the thing. So I know it's all going somewhere. I'm just kind of like, I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait a week to watch the next episode. So I'm not gonna.
Okay, so speaking of waiting till the next week to watch the next episode.
Yes.
I am in the throes of American Gods. Mm-hmm. Not too bad.
I gave up on it. I love Neil Gaiman. I love the books. I love all his books. So I loved American Gods, but it's very hit or miss.
Yeah, it's got its moments, but I'm sticking with it.
Casey Riddle's magic cabinet. That sounds dirty. Well, it does the way you say it, Casey. I've been, we do watch things separately. Full disclosure.
Wait, I'm not done yet.
I know. Dave's going to tell you all the things he's been watching without me.
The Expanse is kind of like not, American Gods. It's like generally good, It's more hit than miss.
Okay. Even keeled, you'd say?
It's just well done.
Okay.
And I like it a lot.
We would have watched it together, except we started watching it together and then he cheated on me and went like 2 seasons ahead. And I was like, well, I'm never catching up. So I'm done. Who else has done that out there in couple land? I'm sure that's happened to you as well. I've been watching A Discovery of Witches because
it has witches in it.
It has witches in it. It's like time travel. I'm contractually obligated to watch.
No, it's actually not bad. I mean,
no, it's not bad at all.
It's got the guy. I love doing it this way. In a way, I'm embarrassed because we don't know everyone's name, and we don't bother to do the homework to get everyone's name written down.
Well, that's not true. I try to bother. I bother a little.
I just whatever I know in my head is what I tell. The guy who played Ozymandias in the Watchmen movie is one of the main characters.
Okay.
And he's quite good.
Arthur says he left after Thomas Jane left. And Michael Maloney says the second season stunk of The Expanse.
Yeah.
Is that what we're talking
Everyone
about?
has their own opinion.
Thomas Jane comes back, Riddle says.
Yeah, but it's
I
know all about it. I'm on the cutting edge. Telling me things I already know.
Somebody just take that soundbite, please, where Dave says he's on the cutting edge, and then I'm gonna put it side by side with him screaming at his phone when he can't get something done because he's so technically challenged.
Oh, you're a laugh, Ryan.
Oh, Sean
Sleep
O'Brien.
with one eye open.
Hello, Sean. Sean was our second guest ever. And our third guest ever is coming up at 8 o'clock. It's TJ Connelly, and we're very excited. So we hope you stick around for that. I also started McMafia because, frankly, I really miss Gangs of London already. And there's so many shows that we have never heard of from the UK that are popping up all over the AMC Plus app. So I started McMafia. I think I watched 1 or 2 episodes. It's not bad. It's slow, but then again, most British stuff is slow and builds slow. So we'll see.
One of the best things I watched all week.
Oh, yeah. Tell them about it.
Okay, so last weekend, my team, Liverpool Football Club, played my son Connor's team, which is Manchester United.
Meaning they're both fans of said teams.
No, we own them.
They don't own the teams.
Yes.
They don't play for the teams.
We've retired. So anyhow, Connor is in Texas, and I'm here in God's country. And we did a FaceTime call and watched an entire British Premier League match together.
Yeah.
Doing nothing but talking smack and everything.
Which was my cue to go upstairs because that's just too much for me.
Okay, listen,
frankly.
I love movies. I love shows. That was the best thing.
Well, I mean, I try to watch some Premier League with you, but I always, unless it's like there's something going on, like it's the last few minutes or there's a grudge match, I'm sort of like, oh, let's see what else is going on the world of Twitter or whatever. Like I lose interest.
It's high
I
quality.
love watching soccer. It's not like I don't.
It's the best soccer in the world.
It's the best sport to watch on television right now. I'll tell you.
The best league in the world.
The way that they run things is top notch.
They are a high class organization.
Sean O'Brien, I'm a little drunk, but on the exercise bike. That cancels out. Yes. Yes, it does.
Oh, sweat it right out.
On Inauguration Day, Sean. So, pedal on, pedal on, pedal on.
0-0, Casey Riddles. You are correct, sir.
Yeah, that was not great.
Hey, listen.
Although father and son were not at.
We'll take a point apiece.
Yeah, there you go. I thought that was pretty sweet that you guys got to do that because really, other than myself, nobody watches Premier League with you in the house, really. Especially now that Cam works third shift, so he's not getting up Saturday morning to watch it with you.
Yep.
It's all right.
Did you just mention working?
Yes. Guess who went back to work?
This guy. Hello, people. I'm back at it. I feel like I'm going to die minute by minute. My head's going to explode. My butt's going to fall out.
So when you've been out of work for a while and you start a new job, now he full disclosure, he works for the Carpenters Union, but he hadn't been on a job in 6 months?
Yeah, it was a while.
So we knew a couple days ahead of time that he was going to be called in for a job he was going to start the day after
I was sweating bullets.
Day, so Tuesday. So we did a little recon. Do you guys do this, by the way, when you're starting a new job? By the way, Sam says,
thank you, Sammy.
And I heard Liverpool Man U was bad for colorblind people. Oh, the unis?
Hey, listen, they were at Anfield and we wore red, and that's what matters.
Okay. So whenever I'm starting a new job, I do recon where I drive to and from the job a few days before just to get the lay of the land. Make sure I'm early, make sure there's parking and whatever. So he's working in Harvard Square.
Ugh.
So we knew that there was not going to be any parking.
How do you get there? Where do you park?
It was going to be a challenge because it was over. It's for, can we say who it's for?
What?
Can we say, I don't want to say exactly where you're working, but you're working for a rather large institution.
Yeah.
In Harvard Square. So.
And it rhymes with Harvard.
And so we get in there and we sort of, do the reconnaissance and we look here, we look there, and there across from where we think he's working, there is
it's actually down the street.
Is it down the street?
We had to go down the street.
We felt
not a good parking spot, not a good parking spot. 2 hours.
Everything's resident permit parking.
Cambridge is the worst for parking.
So we spotted an underground garage and we immediately drove over there and talked to the guy. We're like,
can we get in here? And the guy's like, no.
It's privately owned. And we were like, crap. So
we even had Sam get on the case.
Sam Parker
on the West Coast.
Yeah, Sam
He's
Parker,
like the guru of parking.
Yeah, he can find parking anywhere and he can tell you how to get to where. So we had it down to where we figured, okay, well, he'll drive to Alewife
and take the red line in.
We didn't want it
that
on
way
the
you
subway
avoid downtown Boston and the big hubs.
Yeah, with COVID and everything. So we were trying to minimize his exposure to COVID.
Because look I just can't help. I like to lick all the handles and everything in the tea.
It is kind of a problem.
Yeah.
So anyway, he gets there the first day. So it starts at 6. So we get up at 4:30 in the morning and I drive him in because at this point there is no parking. We don't know. So I drop him off. What? No. Nikki T, my brother is the doorman at the Charles Hotel. Go by Duke, him a fit. Tell him I say something. Nikki T, I love you. You are. Yeah. There's no one more connected than Nikki T. I'm telling you. That is amazing. Will Dave's accent change now that he is in Cambridge, Mike Maloney?
Well,
I doubt it.
Not for nothing. How do you like diamond apples?
Oh,
you know what
God.
I mean?
Yeah, it's gonna be like.
Listen,
you know.
Maloney, my brother graduated from Harvard, kid.
Yeah.
And when I get together with him, he starts talking like me.
Yeah, you really pull us all into your current, by the way.
It's the gravitational pull. I'm trying to lose weight.
By the way, our guest is officially in the green room. We're very
my
excited.
goodness.
Just a few minutes away from TJ Connelly gracing us.
Sweet.
So anyway, he gets there and I immediately leave and drive home.
She leaves me. Okay.
It's 6 o'clock in the morning.
6 o'clock start. It's pitch black out. And it's freezing cold. This was on Tuesday, right?
Yep.
So I get on the phone because, hey, science, it's science. So I'm in front of this huge science building.
He's in front of the wrong building. We had the wrong address the whole time.
No, but I was told the wrong address.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, hi. Is this the foreman? Yeah, I'm at 5 so-and-so street. He goes, oh, you're a little off. It's 52 so-and-so street.
Anyway, it's magically.
It is exactly where the underground garage is.
And
wait, hold on, I gotta hang up. It's where the underground garage is, guys. And guess who can park there?
For $10 a day.
It's $10 a day.
It was like we did all this proactive recon and we were ready, for any scenario.
Anybody who knows
anything.
anything.
And then the little parking fairy tweeted
Wow,
down.
I don't deserve it.
No, you've been out of work for 6 months. You deserve it.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah, it was totally amazing. So
yeah, it was pretty cool.
It was a January. It was a Martin Luther King Day miracle, is what it was.
That's right.
Yeah.
I had a dream to have a parking spot.
Yep.
In Cambridge, which is tough.
And this job is going to be a really good job.
By the way,
everything so far has been great.
I was told it's a 5-week job.
Yeah, guess how many?
I get to the job and he's like, yeah, it's 15 weeks.
So whoever gave you the information should get fired because
no, please, no, don't say that. Johnny, she's only kidding.
I keyed. But $10 a day is a steal. In Cambridge, it's a steal.
It's such a deal.
So I think we're gonna bring our guest in a couple minutes early just because I'm so excited. And he's in the green room and we don't have anything for him to eat or drink in the green room. So please welcome, without further ado, Senator John TJ Connelly, our favorite DJ.
Whoa. We know a lot of DJs.
We do, but he's kind of our favorite.
Okay, no, I'm not arguing that, but we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, son.
I don't think any of the DJs we know are going to be butthurt about the fact that we think TJ is our favorite DJ.
Let's put it this way. He's the DJ's DJ.
He is the DJ's
That's
DJ.
What I think.
Hey!
That's my There he is.
Hey, friends. How y'all doing?
Hello.
Senor.
So this
John,
is...
am I out of the room? Am I in?
This is the bunker. This is like the... where all the magic happens for uncertain times.
What do you got back there, TJ? You got some VHS tapes, do you?
They're over that way, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been trying to cut down. I have a lot of hoodies, and then basically every book I ever read, to be honest.
By the way, speaking of hoodies,
hey, those are very comfortable.
Represent
and affordable.
Yes. We fight over it actually.
Oh, nice.
On who's gonna wear it out of the house.
Your elbows are really sharp.
So thank you for joining us. Obviously, we love you more than pretty much everybody. And I have to say that first of all, it's always a pleasure to go to one of the places where you work and listen to the music you play, because you're always winking to the audience, and you're especially winking to the smart people in the audience who get it.
But you know what's even better is when we're mostly at home. So when we are at home watching a sporting event and we hear the song on the TV and we're like, what? Oh,
Yeah, we're like, is TJ
Like,
playing the Stooges?
wow, they're really
Yes, he
cool.
is.
Who's?
Yeah.
Oh, there you
Yes,
go.
usually,
Yeah.
right.
It's so much fun, and then I immediately get on social media and have to brag about how awesome you are, and so you know, we obviously we loved going to Red Sox games, and you know, I would be there for different events, and you'd be up there, and we could just tweet at you, and you'd play songs for us, and it was just, you know, that's always a magical experience. And then you know, of course, at Gillette, and then the Bruins games at the Garden, and then the pandemic hits and everything goes.
There's no more sporting events.
Yeah.
So what does TJ do? I cried because I was, you know, furloughed and later laid off. And I guess we invented this show, but you invented an entire radio station.
Well, yeah, I mean, it started more or less exactly the same way. But yes, I did lose 3 jobs in one day. That was certainly daunting. And
It
then,
takes a
yeah,
lot.
Yeah.
it was
You
just more that it was like, you know, this happened to me one other time when I actually got laid off from my day job the day after baseball season ended. And I suddenly
Ooh.
went from being a guy with like 2 full-time jobs to no jobs. And it was just, you don't even know what to do. You're just sort of floating. You're like, well, I can literally do anything right now. It doesn't matter. I'm on no schedule, whatever. But yeah, so it started off as just like, let me do a radio show for a couple hours a day, and now it's like a full day of programming, and very soon we'll expand even more beyond that, which will be exciting. And
World domination.
If we go, let's just jump back to the Fenway stuff, because Sean O'Brien is saying the rapport between you and Josh Cantor
yeah,
is some magic.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And I didn't want to. We would be remiss if we didn't mention Josh Cantor as well,
of
who,
course.
by the way, threatened to be on the live stream tonight. So Josh, if you're
Oh,
there,
yeah.
we're
He's
very-
creeping,
here,
buddy.
maybe lurking, who
He's
knows?
keeping his eye on you.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
and if I may be so bold, I feel like the three of us definitely inspired each other a little, because suddenly there was the pandemic and the creative job that we all had was gone. And you know, Josh started live streaming every
Right.
day at 3:00 and keeping people's
7th
hopes
inning
alive.
stretch, people.
And
Right.
you
He had the
were
wisdom to wait
broadcasting.
until opening day.
Yeah, I know. And then you were broadcasting every morning and giving us life, especially for those of us who miss listening to radio stations like FNX.
Yeah,
you
like
know, you're
curated radio
yeah,
stations
you're-
with people with good taste.
you're holding that torch and keeping it brightly lit. So we appreciate that as well. So I'm hoping that we can have Josh Cantor on at some point too, but he's so like mega huge now. I mean, he
I
has
know.
like, you know,
He's all over
tens
the
of
place.
thousands of people watching him.
I
And he
know.
was on every publication
I
from
know.
here to Japan and back.
It's
Yeah.
You
crazy.
know?
I mean, and it's like his living room. It's just so like, I don't know.
Yeah.
The modern world is weird. We live in little boxes.
Yep.
But yeah, but his show is a lot of fun. And it has sort of the same thing going that Uncertain does, where there is this community of people who are there for every show. And like that to me is really like the real thing. I mean, the radio show is great, and I know about music, so it's a thing to do. But then like just being able to have like people come together and actually like find other people, you
Right.
know, and everyone is alone and isolated.
Yeah,
and-
we actually been talking about that. When we switched platforms so we could have guests, one of the first things I wanted to do was to basically have our friends on, but have people that have been with us since day one watching the show. And there are people like Sean O'Brien, who we had on last week, who we knew peripherally through once in Somerville, but we really didn't know him.
Yeah,
know
right.
him.
Sure.
And then he became part of our weekly show in such a big way, and always showing up and supporting that. Like, I just can't wait to be able to see him in person and give him like the biggest hug ever. Like, it's crazy how we've made people that we barely knew before pre-pandemic into our extended family.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I will say one of the most fun things I got to do during this whole process is when the hoodies originally went on sale and everybody who was like part of the community bought hoodies. I went and delivered all of the ones that I could that were in the area of the city. And it was crazy because in like some cases that involves seeing people that I hadn't seen for like 8 years or something like that. And in other cases it was like people I had seen the week before. And then people I'd never met, and just kind of being like, hi, I'm the guy on the other end of the radio. Here is your sweatshirt. And that was so much fun. Deeply exhausting. But you know.
I know you were trying to get here, and you
Yeah.
poor thing. We
You
just
guys were
couldn't
there
make
the
it
one
happen.
night that I tried to do, like, I forgot that driving on a Friday in summer or whatever, I don't even know, time is meaningless, but it was, you know, that thing with the spitting rain and the whatever else, and I hadn't even driven in a month, and I was just like, oh my god, this is a waking nightmare.
White knuckle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
White knuckle deliveries.
Guys, I can't make it out to where you're at.
Nope, totally
Yeah,
fine. We fully understood.
We'll be there again.
If we could talk about the show today, by the way, no, so you've been, it's over 200 shows now, right? That you've done?
Yes. Today was 216, I think.
And today's show, Inauguration Day, was literally 4 years in the making. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah. Well, so I had a radio show like once a week beforehand that was 3 hours. It was on ZBC, and it was no promotional intent, and it was just like, it was very similar to what is on Certain FM. It was a little more of like occasionally throwing things into like the super indie buckets so that the student management wouldn't yell at me so much. But it was a lot of fun. But as it worked out, I ended up being the guy who was on the morning of the inauguration in 2017. So I did a whole inauguration show when Trump was inaugurated, and I was just like, as I realized, you know, now that this is the thing, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be one hell of a show, and put it together. And it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of like, it was a weird vibe almost, because like he was gone so early in the morning. You know?
Right. And I know that you started the show a little earlier than you normally did. And I think, did you start with Andy Williams? It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Yeah. Well, because it was like Christmas, right? Everybody's waiting, you know, you're just like,
yeah. It was like Christmas morning.
Yeah,
and,
it was good. I think the big gem from the show was probably there's a Stevie Wonder track in there that was close to noon. Actually, I don't even remember, because everything got jumbled up because then they swore him in 10 minutes early. But and
yeah, it was early.
Yeah, well, I mean, good. They shouldn't swear him in late. There shouldn't be like 5 minutes where there's no president. But like, regardless, it was. I didn't expect it, not having spent a lot of time studying actual inaugurations. I did have this moment actually, as a person who does like live event production, of being like, do they vamp? Like to make it to noon? Like if they're a few minutes short, do they just like throw?
Yeah, somebody's like,
yeah, exactly.
Well,
and be like, say more about America. You know, like
yes.
There was a little lull. And I was wondering if maybe somebody else was supposed to come out and sing and they didn't show or something. There was that little weird lull. And you were like, what's going on? Nobody's doing anything. And then Klobuchar finally got back up. Maybe they were just waiting for the guy who had to wipe down the podium every time somebody spoke, which was amazing, by the way. Like, that's your gig.
I know.
So I was at the inauguration. It was my job to wipe down everything.
I was like yellow vinyl gloves on, like.
I would love it if that guy turned out to have like previously been a guitar tech in life, like someone who's very used to being like running in the middle of the thing, doing a thing, coming back now, you know. But
speaking of which, one of the best memes I saw today, Bernie Sanders in the mittens, only he's in the chair like this, and they put him behind a merch table at a rock show.
Yeah,
and it is the best meme I have seen. I was like, brilliant. We're done here.
I'm happy to have that be on the internet kind of forever. Also kind of funny that Bernie Sanders just managed to sort of like make a little bit of the day be about him by doing absolutely nothing and just being Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
Sort of like,
it was
done,
very
Bern.
Bernie. Yeah, it was very Bernie Sanders of him.
But yeah, the one song, there was a Stevie Wonder song called You Ain't Done Nothing, I believe is the name of it. And he wrote it about Nixon, actually, when Nixon resigned. And was very much like, you're completely have failed at anything you could do. And I was like, that's perfect.
This is why you have to do what you do, because who knows that little nugget? You know that nugget. That's the thing that kills me. Like, there's a point, I caught the tail end of the replay, because you do the show from 10 a.m. Depending on what you're feeling like. I don't think it goes much later than 2 o'clock ever, does it?
No, the idea is that I start at 10. It was supposed to be just 2 hours. I was just going to do like 10 to 12, and then that quickly became like 10 to 1. And then once I figured out, because when I started off, I had to figure out music licensing, which I'm so glad is a thing that we're not going to say anything more about right now, because it's all figured out now, which is great. But that notwithstanding, so now it's that, and then usually the show ends around 1. And then often there's this thing, the sandwich set, which is basically like the request hour. And sometimes that's on a theme and sometimes it's not. And it doesn't happen every day. there's all still plenty of things up in the air. And then at 2:00, the show from 10:00 plays again for the people on the West Coast, because then they get it, more or less the same time. Which, yeah, it's a lot of fun. And it's, I enjoy too, because I just get to sit back and listen to the replay and then listen to myself talk and go, it's fun.
When I tuned in, it was towards the end of the replay because I had a crazy day job work day. I can't, I hate when I have a bunch of like Zoom calls and meetings and I can't listen to you because I can't have you in my ear. And you had Fozzie the Bear singing.
Yep.
Was it America the Beautiful or something? What? Yeah. And I was
think
like,
it's from the Muppet movie. I think it's actually the beginning of the Muppet movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because it actually has Kermit saying like, "This is the patriotic part," or somebody, and I was like, "Wait, that's the Muppets. What's happening?"
Yeah.
And that's one of the other things I love about listening to your show is that you still throw in little things, whether it's an old promo from something or something Dr. Demento-ish.
Yeah.
There's always something going on that you never cease to amaze us when you play. You're like, oh my God.
Listen, somebody earlier today was like,
Thank you.
you guys listen to some really obscure music. And I was like, look.
Yeah, because he started singing Lana Lovitch earlier tonight.
I was just
speaking of obscure music, by the way, I love that you dropped a little Luca Bloom right before I got on. You were talking about and you were like, pedal on, pedal on, pedal on. I was like, I understand that. Yeah.
And that's the thing about us is that TJ, you and I really didn't meet until I moved back from LA in 2012, but we felt like we'd been family like our whole lives. It was kind of ridiculous.
Kindred spirits.
And I know part of that is probably because I was on FNX when you were listening to it as a younger person.
It was very bizarre when we first met. You were like, come hang out. And I was like, oh, go meet Angie C. Oh my God. And then you're like, this is Julie Kramer. And I was like, what the
Yeah. And then when I introduced your girlfriend Maggie to Kay Hanley, that was another. And then we took her to that.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, the pre-hot stove night with all Will Daly.
It's nice to see people's reactions who are really fans of people that that you kind of introduce.
Like genuine stuff is great.
Where they're like so excited.
Yeah.
They're like taken back.
Yeah.
They're transported back to 1993.
Now,
they're like, wait a minute, you're a three-dimensional human? You exist?
Right. Yeah. One of the things I have yet to do though is to go visit you in the booth at Fenway, which I realize is the a postage stamp size.
Yes.
But have you ever introduced somebody that to a player or to somebody where maybe they were a little too big of a fan and you didn't realize and you were like, oh God, what have I done?
I do see Josh Cantor every day. plenty of people meet Josh Cantor and they're like, oh, you're the organist. And I'm like, yes, that's him. That's right over there. Yeah. It's actually, I would say that probably happens in reverse more often because Josh will because of his connections with indie rock people will just occasionally be like, oh, hey, this is from the Mekons. And I'm like, what? Or I was standing there and suddenly the Mountain Goats were there in their entirety, and in my head, to be honest, I'm the dork who was like, John Worster, I remember you my entire life from the Dead Milkmen song Stewart. You got a shout out for booking their first show when you were 15. And it literally, Josh had mentioned John Worster about 6 times because of the Sharpling and Worster show, the best show. And finally, after a year, it clicked. And I was like, oh, he's the guy from the one line in the song. So that's the stuff I dork out about. But I wonder.
It's dorky.
Yeah. No, but we're amongst dorks.
But listen, what that just means that you care.
TJ, did TJ get that mug from Game of Thrones?
This guy right here?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I have 4 of them. It is, I think in this case, a beer mug. Some of them are, some of them aren't. But, hydration is important. I do try and make that point fairly often on the show. And,
it is. It's very important.
Yeah.
That thing is huge.
It used to be when I had a normal office job, I used to drink out of one of these all the time because it also forces you to take breaks, which is important to stand up and stop typing and go and whatever. True. And so this is just kind of a nice little cycle of hydration and also
So one of our viewers, Lewis Warren, is saying a buddy of his plays guitar with John Langford in his solo stuff.
Oh, word.
Yeah. So I love that, we not only are we dorks,
Yeah.
but our viewers are too.
Yeah. No, it's
Lewis
very,
Warren, it makes me want beer.
Oh,
Everything makes you want beer, Lewis. Don't blame the Stein.
I know. It's too bad. I don't think I ever owned these. I am a retired booze hound, and in my days of carousing, I don't think I ever had one. I did used to
Like
do
when
a
it
thing. I used
counts,
to work
like
at
when you
Improv
really could have
Asylum.
used it.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm not a trained DJ. I apologize. I step all over everyone's lines.
Yeah.
I'm a complete failure.
Oh my God, stop.
No.
You didn't get to use it for real business purposes, is what you're saying.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. No, I didn't. But I did have a stunt we used to pull in the midnight show when I worked at Improv Asylum where I would drink out of an entire. So this is back when like all the music was CDs and there was not an iTunes store, and it was Stump the DJ, and people would try and come up and see if I didn't have something, and I had it, whatever.
Oh yeah, you don't want
But
to.
if I didn't have it, I had to drink an entire pitcher of Bud Light.
Oh.
So I would like hold the. So there was that to some degree, which was a pretty terrible. I didn't lose much, thankfully, because then you have to drink a whole pitcher of Bud Light, which is tough.
So I love that some of the people that I regularly chat with, one of the great things about listening to Uncertain Times and listening on, there are a couple different ways to listen to it. And I'll post all those links for everybody on the show page in a day or two. But I always say tomorrow, and it's never tomorrow. It's always Friday or Saturday. So sorry.
She doesn't get a lot of help around here, TJ.
But you also have a live chat room in another app.
Yes.
That so everybody listening can chat with each other. And in the mornings, I'm always like, good morning. And everybody's so nice. And I can see that some of them are on tonight on the live stream. So thank you very much for showing up. We appreciate that. I think that's wonderful. So we're going to wrap it up because we didn't want to keep you too long. And we're going to ask you back soon anyway. So we don't want to wear out your welcome.
I have one question.
Yes.
Sure.
Can we wrap it up with one question?
Sure.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
All right. Playing walk-up music at the Red Sox game, T.
I've been there.
What was your favorite walk-up music?
Oh. Well, there have been a few.
Players and the song.
Well, I think the one that probably stands out most in my heart in the moment that you're asking this question anyhow, was Koji Uehara, who decided he wanted to come into Sandstorm by Darude. There you go. Everybody knows what song that is. We used to refer to that time as Zubba Zubba Za. But it was funny because he, like traditionally the closer, you get a whole inning breaker song, and he wasn't the closer. So he only got like the end of it. And it took one game. He got the end of it. And I was like, oh no, I don't care. We're playing this whole break. This is all his song. And it was just a blast because everybody knows the song. It's a little terrible, but it's like terrible in the way that like probably, it brings to mind like smoking Marlboro Lights in a terrible club and like 2002 being like, yeah, that's all it brings to. I was working as security in said club, but that one. And you could just dance. I mean, that and to some degree also Okajima, the terrible techno song that spelled his name out. Because I'm like, how good is that your walk-up song is just a bunch of people being like, oh, okay, hey. I'm like, yeah, perfect, good. You know what you're doing. You're having fun with it. And you're not just finding like some random rap song of the minute and finding 15 sort of clean seconds from it,
I was going to say, you did have quite a challenge, I know, with David Ortiz on occasion. With a particular hip hop song, because he would change it a lot, and then you had to find any clean parts to play. Yeah,
which is fun because I have one of the largest collections of clean hip hop and reggaeton that I basically made. Like, I'm ready for the bar mitzvah crowd. I'm in there. I mean, at this point, it would probably be like, the music that these kids aren't getting bar mitzvah anymore. I don't know. They're all have a 25th birthday party or something like that.
No, but when we do have crowded events again and you need a DJ, he's expensive, but he's worth it.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, TJ, thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on, bro.
Let's quickly let everybody know how they can listen to Uncertain Times.
Yeah, so go to uncertain.fm and there are links from there, and there's If you're on the Android, there's an app you can get for the streaming provider. If you're on Mac, there's one that we like called Tryout. There's instructions there. We have instructions for hooking it up to Sonos. It's like, and this is all stuff that people have added in to figure out how it works. So if you go to uncertain.fm, you'll be able to figure it out from there. There's also the link for the live chat, the Slack that everybody's on. And it is, a marvel of minimalist mid-90s web design. So you should probably be able to navigate your way around it pretty well.
All right. Thank
Yeah.
you, TJ.
Thanks, TJ. TJ Connelly, everybody.
Thanks, friends.
And
Take
you
care.
can follow TJ on social media under @SenatorJohn. Thank you.
Thanks,
Mwah.
T.
Well, that was just awesome.
Show's over.
Right?
That's it. Wrap it up.
Show's over.
Well, how are we going to follow that?
I don't know, but it's fantastic. This is the time of the show we would normally talk about food. So before I get to that, I do want to remind everybody, we told you last week that Juliana Hatfield is going to be doing a free live show from Q Division Studios happening this Saturday night. She's going to be doing the album Bed in its entirety. And I will post the link for you to reserve your space, but it is free. You don't have to pay any money. And it's Juliana Hatfield. What's not to love about that? So I just wanted to remind everybody, it's from 4 to 6 this Saturday, free and open to the public. Juliana. So there you go. There's a lot of other stuff being posted on the live stream right now. And so things to do after the show is over. If you need stuff, Nikki T's got you covered apparently. And TJ, thanks again. We love you and we're definitely having you back. And Josh Cantor, if you're out there, let us know when you're ready for a Wednesday night, 8 o'clock.
Charge!
We love you, Josh. So we did some spectacular food prep this week. And we got to talk about it real quick. So we went to Aldi's again because that's our date night.
Yeah.
Saturday date night at Aldi's.
We do love Aldi's now.
We figured it out. We need to go early on Saturdays because if we go later on Saturdays, nothing.
It's like somebody
Everything's been picked
it's
clean.
like, yeah.
So we got a boneless pork butt for a very for a very reasonable price.
Let me tell you something. Where do we put that thing?
What do you mean? Where did we?
Did it go in the pressure cooker?
It went in the Power Pressure Cooker XL, which is what we have, which is a big version of your Instant Pot and not as expensive.
Okay, so it was roasted pork butt, and let me tell you something. It was scrumptious.
Well, that's because I made it.
And it was. Is that a shot at me?
No, not at all. I looked up a very simple recipe. And the pressure cooker does what normally would happen 5 hours later in an hour. So it's great. Especially when you got a bunch of people in the house and we don't necessarily have a lot of time to pre-plan. So we had the pulled pork and everybody had it different ways.
You know, I like to pull my pork, honey.
Anyway, we also I think we've perfected the pulled chicken. Okay,
look. Ginormous chicken breasts.
Yeah, when you get a good deal on big, hormonal chicken breasts that are probably bad for you.
What did we I actually did that one. We roasted them in the pressure cooker as well, but with broth.
Yeah, just chicken broth.
But of course, you also, brined them.
Oh yeah, so I did the brine.
You can't have any poultry without brining it.
Yeah, and it's
if you are brining your poultry, you're making a mistake. Yeah, you're missing out on life.
We had the chicken breasts in a brine overnight, and then they went into the pressure cooker. And I asked Dave to put a bunch of seasoning in there, and he forgot, but it didn't matter. And it was a happy accident.
Fantastic.
All you needed was the chicken stock, and it was perfect. And 12 minutes, that was it for big, huge, 5 or 6 breasts.
I planned it that way.
And we just pulled it when it came out. And so we have this huge Ziploc baggie of pulled chicken, and I've been able to give it to you. There's so many sexual innuendos.
Give me your pulled chicken.
We've got all this pulled chicken ready to go for whatever, whether you want it for tacos or salads or whatever. And the meal prep has been great because I have turned into June Cleaver and have made somebody's lunch for him.
2 days in a row.
The night before. Will she go 3 nights?
Hat trick.
Who but it's.
I'm hoping. I ate the last of the chicken tonight.
Casey says, "Don't tell me what to brine." By the way, I didn't say that Dave sucks at cooking. I just said that I'm better. That's it. He doesn't suck at cooking. I'm just better at it. But he's getting there. He has perfected the taco line.
Listen, nobody messes with my tacos.
Yeah, he's doing.
I'm obsessed with tacos.
Kendall, by the way, has really been on
She's a cookie creep.
A baking tear. She made these cookies over the weekend that were brown sugar butter cookies.
Wait a minute. What about the brownies from scratch?
Oh yeah, brownies from scratch.
No, from scratch, not from a box.
Yeah, and I think really she's inspired by all these TikTok videos. And then she just pulls a recipe off the internet.
And she's like, "Oh, the parents are trying to lose weight."
I know. She's diabolical.
Hire,
so
try
like,
these.
Can I just have a little taste? I did 60 minutes on the bike. I can have a little taste. 2 cookies later, and I'm like, oh, it's awful.
Yeah.
That was, 2 days I was off the wagon. And
the hormones, baby.
I paid for it.
The hormones.
Well, thanks. Now everybody knows I had my period this weekend.
You already mentioned it.
No, I didn't.
Yes.
No, definitely
you just
not.
did.
Oh, you're a big fat jerk. I can't believe you just did that. This is going on cable access television.
Oh my God, Angela she has a period? Oh my God.
Nikki T has the straight facts that Dave is awesome on the grill.
Thank you very much, Nikki. You're really nice.
And
I don't care what everyone else says about you, Nikki T. You're the best.
All right, we are gonna shut it down. Hopefully you're still there because we just lost our feed on the really, really, really old
Riddles
MacBook.
Riddles thinks his tacos are better than mine.
So thank you guys so much for watching.
Okay.
We will see you at the Juliana Hatfield show this weekend virtually from 4 to 6. And we will post the link so you can join us. We will see you next week. And who knows who our special guest will be? It could be you. Make sure you like the page, the Worst Talk Show page. If you have any suggestions, you want us to listen to some music of yours, you can send it to us at theworsttalkshow@gmail.com. And we will see you in this finished show on cable access. Just check your local listings. Thank you again to Kevin Tachi, who is our executive producer and makes
arigato, Mr. Roboto.
all this magic happen. And hit up the Venmo tip jar. It helps us with underwriting so we can stream all these shows because it costs some money at DJ NGC on Venmo. So thank you guys so much. We love you. Mwah! Good night.
Ciao.